I grew up playing the basketball with the boys, so like it's always been physical and feisty, and like that's what it is, and you got to find a way to hold your own.
Caitlin Clark, a phenomenal basketball player who has been dominating courts and breaking records with amazing performances, has made a startling statement that has shocked the sports world. Clark's intriguing plays and undeniable charisma have won over millions of admirers. But this latest discovery has captured everyone's attention. What does this signify for her future, her team, and the game itself? Is it really over? Come along as we analyze Caitlin Clark's startling revelation, which has left fans in complete disbelief. The turning point in Clark's career. In 2006, when there were only 34 games in the WNBA regular season, records were created and broken. But Caitlin Clark is already making her own headlines. She made a startling revelation that has the entire basketball world in a frenzy. She won't be playing the game until April. After over 200 days without the WNBA's biggest star playing, fans are already going nuts. It was even confirmed by Ryan Ruocco. Nothing until spring, no foreign ball, no training camps, no off-season grind. But it's not just rest. Clark's most recent game ended in chaos. She was merely tackled to the ground, and surprisingly, no foul was called. Fans immediately replied online, criticizing the league and its standards. Could someone help explain why that isn't considered a foul? They asked the question and then responded in a way that was nearly snarky. Oh wait. It's Caitlin Clark. The blatant double standard was evident to all. On social media, outrage broke out. Players expressed their thoughts as well. We don't want fans to call us names or denigrate us. We come to play basketball, one player remarked. We are passionate about our work. However, social media shouldn't blow up over stuff like this when people go to work. There must be action taken. How many times must we witness this, whether it's the league monitoring supporters or establishing regulations? After the game, Alyssa Thomas experienced a strong reaction of her own. She didn't celebrate the win. Instead, she called out Fever supporters for their rudeness and comments as a way of expressing her exhaustion with a negative. Some, though, questioned the timing. Thomas didn't say anything for a time when Angel Reese tackled her earlier in the season. All of a sudden, things are completely different when Caitlin Clark is involved. Now comes the more crucial question. Is Clark's decision to step back a pivotal moment in his professional life? By refusing to play overseas or compete in off-season events like 3-on-3 ball, she is making a powerful message. Her body, her mind, and her long-term legacy come first. Let's be honest, the Indiana Fever, the WNBA, and fans everywhere will learn how much the league suffers when its best player is absent for a long time. Although some fans may be shocked, Clark's choice makes perfect sense. The quantity of effort she has been doing is too much for most gamers to handle. In just 324 days, Caitlin completed 81 games and about 3,000 minutes on the court, essentially an NBA-length season. That is just amazing. Think about her most recent game. This was not your typical match. The opponent in this playoff matchup was the Connecticut Sun, a team built to crush underdogs. On paper, the Fever seemed to be outmatched, but Clark was determined to prove herself. By scoring 25 points and throwing out 9 assists under dire circumstances, she kept Indiana alive when most people thought they were done. But the box score doesn't really capture the complete picture. Viewers marveled as Caitlin prepared the game. She was setting her teammates for wide-open shots that, for some reason, didn't fall and making perfect passes. How many more perfect passes does she need to make before someone finishes? Fans asked. That game was about more than just points. It demonstrated Clark's incredible vision for playmaking. She enhanced her teammates, created possibilities that went unrecognized, and carried Indiana's offense on her shoulders. The Connecticut Sun Clark made deep shots, attacked the rim, and played as if she didn't want the situation to overwhelm her against one of the league's most playoff-tested teams. Every move was assured. She gave Indiana a real chance to pull off an upset, demonstrating her strength in the WNBA. The season was fantastic despite its awful conclusion. Clark made a name for herself as one of the most daring and talented players in the league. With her brutal scoring and selfless playmaking, she became the lifeblood of Indiana basketball, inspiring teammates and fans alike. This pause is more than just a break. It's a message. Without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA will feel different. Now, Everyone can see directly how important she is to her team and the future of women's basketball in general. Does Clark hold a position of leadership in the WNBA? Let's look into it. Caitlin Clark's dominance. In addition to running plays, Caitlin Clark was also experiencing a fever. Think about that for a moment. Every team in the league had her name on their scouting reports. Slowing her down was the main goal of defense strategies. Coaches were constantly altering their game plans to keep her under control. Even so, Caitlin was able to ignite them every night. That's what makes a true superstar, anyway. She has a shooting range as well. She's not only shooting three-pointers. When she arrives from such long distances, defenders are completely helpless. When she makes such deep shots, the defense is compelled to give way. And at that same moment, the lanes open up. Her lightning-fast speed and razor-sharp ball handling allow her to cut past opponents as if they don't exist. But she does more for the game than just score. Caitlin is one of the league's most clever playmakers. She creates opportunities for her teammates to score by making passes. She competes fiercely. She says, "I feel like I had a solid year, but the fun part for me is knowing I'm just scratching the surface. I scrutinize everything I do because I want to be better for my teammates, my franchise, and myself. What really excites me is that I have a lot of room to grow. We'll all be back here sooner rather than later, I'm sure of it." Her exceptional marksmanship and vision are what set her apart. She is more than just a scorer who chases points. She is everything. Because of this, the entire league watches everything she does. Few athletes share Caitlin's viewpoint on the court. In her season-ending game, she contributed 9 assists. To be honest, if her teammates had taken advantage of every opportunity she gave them, that assist total might have easily been in the double figures. But this season, Caitlin stood out for reasons more than just her points and assists. It was related to leadership. Despite her youth, she has developed into a pillar of support for her colleagues during periods of extreme stress. Big shot, last-minute Caitlin agreed. Defense stops, momentum wanes. It was Caitlin who took the lead. She was doing more than just filling out a stat sheet. She was setting the tone each night. Even when she was upset with herself, her competitive nature motivated her to play harder. She recalled times when she missed a three-pointer and hit the backboard, only to be told it was disrespectful to the game. It had nothing to do with the opposition team, her teammates, or the referee. Instead, it reminded her of a technical she got in college when she muttered, "Damn it!" It has to do with her want to be successful. That fury made her play harder, which reinforced and enhanced the team as a whole. Caitlin's mix of cold-blooded talent and on-court leadership made her one of the WNBA's most important players this season. After carrying that weight throughout the season, it makes sense that she is taking a brief vacation. Many WNBA players travel overseas over the off-season in order to maintain their condition and earn extra money. However, Caitlin is taking a more astute stance. No grueling work, no endless flights, no back-to-back games, just leisure. She's giving her body and mind the reset they need. This season, could she handle the entire league by herself? Let's look into it. Caitlin Clark's first season. The WNBA has a relentless schedule. Watching Caitlin Clark's debut season, which is now nearing its conclusion, was an emotional roller coaster. Caitlin's incredible impact on the court was evident throughout the season, even though the Connecticut Sun eliminated the Indiana Fever from the postseason with a 2-game sweep. We saw how her dominance at Iowa carried over into the job. How she could motivate a team, foster unity, and benefit everyone around her. As the season progressed, her influence became apparent. She attracted a lot of attention. She filled seats in both large and small arenas and attracted new fans to the league everywhere she went, not just in her own arena. For a player like Caitlin, who is responsible for the offense, defense, and high standards of an entire team, the grind is more intense. Playing overseas can seem appealing, but there would be no real respite and just more wear and tear. Caitlin became aware of this. The damage to her health and psyche was real, therefore the only way to protect her long-term plan was to retreat. She didn't just stay away from performing overseas. Additionally, she failed the 3-on-3 circuit, a flashy, fast-paced basketball variation that is gaining popularity. Both the attacking and defensive teams must put out continual effort. But Caitlin knew what her body needed. True leisure. Sensation rather than a lighter, more enjoyable form of basketball. A whole transformation that would allow her to return stronger, more focused, and in better shape for the upcoming season. When other young talents are under pressure to play all year round, pursue international checks, or remain relevant, Caitlin's decision demonstrates a level of maturity way beyond her years. She is aware that by protecting her body now, she will someday gain power. She is giving herself time and space to heal both mentally and physically so that she can be ready to lead again when the next WNBA season starts. Her fans are enamored with her. Her supporters from Iowa and Indiana support her. But sometimes, devotion can also be accompanied by disdain. Racism and harsh treatment, which Caitlin has also experienced, have been discussed in relation to her line of work. One of the main things that irritated Caitlin this season was the officiating, or rather, the absence of it. Every night without getting a call, she was slammed to the ground, shoved on the perimeter, and chopped while driving to the rim. Fans were surprised. Such treatment of one of the best players in the league. Unthinkable. Caitlin expected to be treated with the same respect as other professional athletes, but when she pushed herself off the court, she found referees who were determined to keep quiet. There were more than one or two mistakes. It was a pattern that made her angry during the whole season. During her last game against the Connecticut Sun, everything became abundantly evident. The postseason pressure and the same ugly storyline. Hard contact, powerful play, and no whistling. Supporters were furious. The coaches gave a headshake. And experts found it exactly a flagrant disrespect for one of the best players in the league. In both the NBA and WNBA, elite players who attack the rim, like as LeBron James and A.A. Wilson, usually get good calls and the benefit of the doubt. But keep quiet, Caitlin. Not even the most obvious contact was called. Because of the glaring irregularities, fans questioned whether the WNBA had a serious problem officiating its finest rookie players. The drama went on the court. It spilt over into the stands. In an attempt to confuse Caitlin with taunts and cheap shots from the crowd, a fan began heckling her non-stop during the game. Caitlin handled it like a true pro for most of the evening, but even she has her limits. She ultimately caved in to the unrelenting attack, proving that pressure can affect even the strongest athletes. Caitlin Clark's first season wasn't just about numbers and excitement. It examined perseverance, maturity, and the reality of becoming famous. She had to keep her attention on the bigger picture, her health, her future, and her unrelenting rise in the league, while juggling heavy workloads, hostile officiating, and intense scrutiny. Will Caitlin be absent from the playoffs? Let's take a closer look at it. Throughout the playoffs, Caitlin Clark showed no hesitation in a moment that could have been on LeBron James' highlight reel. She gently reported a boisterous fan to stadium security, and within minutes, the individual was taken out of the building. It was a claim that went beyond basketball. It wasn't just other teams, officials, and defenders that Caitlin had to contend with. She was fighting the energy and cacophony coming from the stands. At that point, something unusual came to light. The tiniest crack in the normally unbreakable armor of Caitlin Clark. There was a trace of irritation. Her usually calm manner wavered just enough for everyone to notice. Now that Caitlin is officially out of the playoffs, the WNBA seems different. Now that the balance of power has shifted, one individual in particular is probably breathing a little better. Angel Ree. Throughout the entire season, the Clark-Ree rivalry has generated fierce debates, highlight reels, and headlines. On the court, it's all passion and fire. If a teammate went to play for another team, I would still compete. Angel clarified, I'm going to trash talk just because I'm competitive. We will, however, laugh and enjoy ourselves off the court. One aspect of the game is talking trash. Avoid taking things personally. But the rivalry has always been fierce. Word for word, shot for shot, moment for moment. One of Angel's biggest obstacles to winning a title has disappeared now that Caitlin is out. She hasn't made any public boasts. But without a doubt, Clark's departure changes everything. Without Caitlin in charge, the Indiana Fever collapsed back into a non-factor. Suddenly, attention shifts to other famous people, like A. The last big star in the postseason right now is A. Wilson. But Caitlin's early elimination isn't only due to shifting playoff brackets. The league as a whole is in disarray. This is the disturbing truth. Caitlin Clark did more than just play hoops this season. The WNBA was altered by her. Fans specifically tuned in to watch her every night, looking forward to her furious intensity, no-look passes, and famous three-pointers. She made highlights seem like must-watch television, creating the kind of buzz the league had been chasing for years. The WNBA has a pressing question now that Caitlin is out. How can you maintain that momentum without the player who became well-known in women's sports? The league's ambition to grow was realized with Caitlin. But without her, will they be able to stay in the spotlight? Caitlin's absence is more than just a gap on the court. It detracts from the WNBA. The fever isn't getting better without her. There will be a change in arena seat sales. TV ratings will rise in a different way. Furthermore, highlight reels won't be as powerful without her 3ES brand shining on them. Social media went bananas every time she gave a performance. Her clips were played on networks. Even non-sports fans kept an eye on her to see what she would do next. Transferring that energy is challenging. It followed Caitlin wherever she went. Right now, the league is in a panic. Without Caitlin, the WNBA might lose the momentum it hasn't had in decades. Can Angel Reese take over the role? Can A. Wilson work hard enough to keep supporters interested? Or will there be less excitement till Clark returns in April? Let's take a closer look at it. WNBA without Caitlin Clark. The front office staff of the WNBA is undoubtedly under a lot of stress right now. Sponsors signed contracts because they anticipated Caitlin Clark's star power would keep viewers glued to screens throughout the season. Instead, her outstanding on-court performances will be absent for a number of months. The league's biggest draw is now on pause because her games were slated for prime time on broadcast networks. This kind of absence not only hurts Indiana Fever, but it also jeopardizes the WNBA's whole business strategy. The truth is simple. Caitlin Clark is not like other rookies. She became the story. Her unique impact was evident in every ticket sold, every viral highlight video, and every spike in retail sales. Now that she's gone, the league is scrambling to answer a crucial question. Who can fill this void? Will fans be enthralled with Angel Reese? Can a Wilson take center stage in the nation, or will the number of viewers decline until Caitlin returns? Women's basketball witnessed a cultural moment that focused on a single player for the first time in many years. Her decision to take a hiatus is therefore driven by factors other than her health. Caitlin Clark just reminded everyone that when she exits the court, the entire league is impacted. The WNBA has made great progress in marketing, broadcasting, and drawing in new fans. To be honest, though, it's players like Caitlin Clark that keep that momentum going. Without her, the league loses not just a star but also its most captivating and marketable face. The absence will be felt in the stands, on screens, and across the culture. Caitlin has a big influence that goes beyond just points and assists. She became a cultural icon by turning every game into an occasion and bringing in new supporters for women's basketball. Her departure has saddened more than just Indiana supporters. It involves the entire WNBA. Caitlin added vigor, excitement, and a compelling personality that was impossible to ignore. Her presence turned ordinary nights into must-see TV, and her disappearance created a void that no one can fill overnight. But this is the one thing that everyone knows about Caitlin Clark. She'll come back stronger than before. Her talent, drive, and work ethic are unparalleled. The break is not over yet. It's a reload prior to the storm. Since it all started at the national championship game 2 years ago, she has been coping with the aftermath. She admits that some people might have spoken hurtful things about her, but she accepts it considering the situation of women's basketball. These days, people are talking about the sport in ways that were unheard of before. Yes, it's not just one person that makes us watch women's basketball nowadays. I'm also to blame. She knows that when Caitlin Clark on the court again in the next season, the WNBA will rekindle. There will be a lot of spectators in the arenas. Every highlight will go viral. She will also remind everyone of the reason her name is being discussed. Do you think the league can go more than 200 days without Caitlin? Or will fan interaction and viewing decline till she returns? Please use the comment section to express your opinions. Don't forget to like and subscribe.